Hi, my name is Milagro Maldonado, and today I will be teaching you how to do tables and queries on the Access program. On the left side, we have the instructions, and on the right side, we have the actual Access program. And now we're going to show you how to create a table. And you're just going to click here on the table, and you're going to start writing the table that appears on your instruction sheet. So you start. Okay, and then you click the next row, and you're gonna also put the first name on the second one, and you're gonna put short text. You're gonna click short text, and you're gonna write the first name that it says first name, the column. And then next, you can also do the same thing. You can click short text and write last name. Okay, so now you're gonna click where it says data type, and you're gonna click where it says number, because you can see that on the instructions there's numbers appearing on the whole table. So now we're gonna start putting the numbers on. So it's gonna be 1001, and then you hit tab, and then you just put the name on the first name column, and then the last name also. And then you hit clap to go to continue writing the names and the number with the student ID, first name and last name. And now you're gonna go up where it says table 1, and you click where it says right click. You're gonna right click where it says save, and then there's a save as button, and then you're gonna write where it says table data, students table data. You're gonna put it the way it is. So the same way you see it, just as students. Don't write the table data, just students. And click OK. And then right click the close so we can start doing the next table. So you're gonna go up, you're gonna click table, and you're gonna do the same thing you did on the first one. So you're gonna go, it says ID, double click, you're gonna write class ID, and then you're gonna go click again, and you're gonna do short text, because it's the classes that it says just name is a name. And then the next one that is section, so it's gonna be, you're gonna go under numbers, because there are numbers, and then term, you see that there's letters and numbers, so you can just click short text for them. And then numbers also, you can click numbers because they're numbers. And then you just start writing the name of the heading, course name, and then section number, and just the way you see it on the table. So you continue doing that until you're done with the table. And now you're gonna go also where it says data type, and you're gonna click number, because it's the number where it says the table says the class ID, so it's numbers. So you're gonna start writing the numbers the way you see them on the instruction sheet. Hit tab and course name, you can write aerobics the same way you see it. And then section number, you're gonna write the number. And then on the term, you're also gonna write SB but capitalized, and then 20 space 20, the way you see it. And then in credit hours, you're gonna write the number 1. Then you click tab again, and you're gonna do the same thing. Okay, now we're gonna go with this table 1, right click, save, and then write the name where it says classes table data. Then you just write the classes, not the table data. Click OK. and then you go right click and then you say close so you can start the next table. So you're going to go up there where it says create, click table, and then you start doing the next table. There says student and classes table data. You're going to do the same thing you were doing with the other two. Click ID. Then you can just put the number because they're numbers. And then the student ID. Numbers also because there's a student ID number. And then our study and also number. You can write also the heading of the table. That is class ID, student ID, and our study. Okay, so you start doing the same thing. You're gonna write the numbers for class ID, student ID, and our study. And you hit tab the same way you were doing for the first tables we did. You tab and then write the number for class ID. And then student ID. And then our study. You continue doing the pattern until you're done using the table. Now you're gonna go, which says view. Okay, so you're gonna do the same thing, student and classes. Okay, now you're gonna drive, and then you're gonna put the format, so you can put the decimal, and you're gonna do fixed. Okay, so you're gonna do 2 decimal points. It says decimal places, 2 points, and then you click on view, and you just click yes, and you'll see that your hour studies is already in decimal form, 2 places. And then right click, and then close. And now we're gonna start with the part 2 of your instructions. And then, so the number 1, task 1, question 1 says, how often did Potter study for his classes this semester? Create the query needed to find this answer. Save the query as Potter's study time per class. So now, and also it shows you here in the query output how it is on the table question 1. So you're pretty much looking for the Potter only. So now we're gonna go to create and then query design. You're gonna click on that and then load, click add, and all of them again, student access and students, and click add, and make sure then close and make sure that all of them are relations, the middle one relations with the classes and students that have in common. I don't know if you can see the little arrows, that means the middle one is showing the relationship between the middle one and the other one. And you can see. Okay, so now you're going to start drag them the way it is on question 1. Course name also down. Drag, hold and drag, hold it, and then go credit hours down. Study hours. Okay. So now we're going to go to criteria and we're going to write Potter. Okay, because that's the one that he's telling us to write. And then go to the last where it says student click on this our students, go to property sheet and click format in the arrow, and you're going to click fix, okay, and then click view so you can see the way it is, so you can make no mistakes. See the way it is, that is matching the same. It don't matter if the numbers are backwards, it just sometimes it just moves around, but as long as you have the same classes and hours, you're good. In credit hours, you're good. So now you click again view, you click run, and then right click so you can write. Remember, it says we have to change it, save it as the for instructions, save, and then you're gonna write Porter study time per class in the way it is. No spaces, no anything, just the way it is. Okay, so you just click OK. Okay, so now click again and then just close so we can start the question number 2. So now question number 2 says, how often should Potter have study per class? Save your inquiry as Potter require study time. So now we have question 2. So we can go create, click create design. Okay, so we're gonna go on the table and we can click where it says table, queries, and booth. We can click queries, and we're gonna use the first one we did for number 2. I know it's a little bit complicated. Click add. Okay, so we're using for the first one, click close for that one. Okay, so now we're doing the same ones. You're gonna drag the way you did number 1, we're gonna drag for the headings. Okay. And now click on the other column, right click on the column and go down and do zoom. And you're gonna write the last column which says required study time. You're gonna write that just the way you see it. To make sure it's correct spelled, just the way it shows you on the instructions. And now, I don't know if you can see what's on the set. Note the following: credit hours per class times 2. That equals the requirement students time. So you're gonna do that same there. Hit the brackets. You're gonna do credit hours, and then bracket, and then space, times, space, and then 2. So now you're gonna click OK. And then you can click require setting, click format, then the arrow, and you can do fixed, and you can go to the view button, and you can say that it's the way, make sure it's the right format for the instructions. So is everything right? So you're gonna click again view, and also run, and query, and just save, and just the way it is on says question 2, you're gonna save it as requirement, Potter required study time. Just gonna write that the way you see it. So you remember there's no spaces. So you just click OK. And then right click so you can close. So you can start another one for totals in question 3. So now for question 3, it says how much additional time should Potter study per class? Save your query as Potter study time deficiency. Okay. So now we're gonna go create, and then query design. And then we're going to go click queries, and then per classes, Sparta study per classes. Okay, so now we're going to drag. Okay. Okay, so then we click. Okay, now we're going to go to right click. Okay, zoom. You can just write study time deficiency. Okay, remember your brackets. Do not forget your brackets. Then required study time minus the hours studied. Remember space minus space, and then hour study. Okay, now hit OK. Then we're going to click there. Then format, right click arrow, and then fixed. And then we're going to go to view and see if it's correct. Everything's fine. Everything's the same, matches. Then we're going to go click view again, and then click run. Then you're just going to save. And then just going to save the way it says on the question 3. Okay, and then click OK. Okay, then close. So now we're doing question 4. Overall, how much additional time should Potter take? Save your query as pattern sum total. So you're going to do create the same way, create design, and then you're going to go queries, and then we're going to do Potter study time deficiency. You click add. Okay, so close that. Then we're just going to start, go down, and we're going to start doing the same thing we did for the last tables. It's going to be last sum. Okay, don't get messed up with the sum of. So just click credit hours, and then require study time, and then hours of study and study time deficiency. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and it says totals. Okay, so now you can forget the last name and click credit hours. Click the arrow says group by. Click the arrow. Click sum. Do that for all of your column. Okay. Group by arrow sum. Okay. Now we're going to click on view and see if we have it correct. Make sure they're all right. Okay, so we're good. So we're going to go click view, run, and we're good. Then this is how you create a table and on Access, increasing access on Access program.